Think for myself and I won't do what they say. Well, I think for myself and I won't do what they say.
Hello, hello, this is Gerald Salenti. It's Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. And no Trends Journal this week, but here's some of today's trends in the news. And one of the reasons why we need a break, we're putting out a 160, 140-page magazine each week, charging hardly anything for it, working so hard. But I was down in D.C., and one of the speakers at Ron Paul's War on Us event, and also Daniel McAdams' right-hand man, what a job they did. What great people were there, over 500 people. And great speakers, Judge Napolitano, RFK Jr., Massey, the Republican, the representative, truly one great speaker after another. The energy was sensational, and I am so honored that I was one of the speakers. I went just before RFK, and Ron Paul's a quiet, very nice man, never uses foul language. And here I am on the other end. And I appreciate it so much because I'm me. He's him. He doesn't ask me to be like him. And that I was asked by Ron Paul and Daniel McAdams to be one of the keynote speakers. True honor. Wonderful, wonderful people. And when you see the video of this presentation, I've been to a lot of them in my life, nothing comes close to this. And it's breaking information that we all need to go into a new direction. So, on to the markets. Dow drops 260 points as investors grow concerned about Delta variant's impact on economic recovery. What bullshit that is. Investors, they're gamblers. How long have we been saying this is going to happen? How long? Oh, no, but now the investors are saying it. This thing's going to go down big, it's going to go down hard, and it's going to go down heavy. OPEC group keeps pact on output in place. So what they're going to do is they're going to still cut back 400,000 barrels a day. None of the lousy little low-life pieces of scum shit prostitutes. How come it's not big news about all the oil spilling into the water from this Hurricane Ida? Huh? You little fucks? You little scumbags? How come this isn't big news? Oh, the Delta variant. The Delta variant. But when big oil pollutes everything everywhere, oh, that's okay. That's okay. We're little scum nuts. We won't report. We'll just scare the shit out of you so you keep watching the crap spew out of our mouth. So oil prices is still around $71 a barrel for Brent crude. All right? This thing is totally fake. Totally fake. This thing's going down big and hard unless they reverse it because EU inflation hits decade high. But don't worry about that because port sea bottlenecks lasting well into 2022 as inventories are rebuilt from today's Wall Street Journal. Okay, bottlenecks, inflation, aluminum prices surge on news of coup. Yep. 10-year high. Aluminum prices. Inflation. Oh, wages are going up. Yeah, wages are going up. That's going to push up inflation too. But nothing near real inflation. This is serious. This thing's going to go down big, hard, and heavy. And you better prepare for it. Gold prices went down. No reason in the world they should have gone down. None. Other than the game is rigged. The whole thing is a criminal act. Hey, you like that Afghan war? Oh, and everybody's worried about the Taliban, the Taliban. Grow the fuck up. The Taliban. You couldn't find Afghanistan on the map. Oh, I'm worried. Investors push rents for houses higher. Investors. Scumbags like Blackstone. Why, I find that racist. They're Whitestone. Well, not the Whitestone Bridge. They've been buying up their houses. People can't afford to buy them. They're renting them out, making all this money. This is the new America where a bunch of stupid shits, the lowest of low life, politicians tell the morons and imbeciles what to do, get rid of all the antitrust laws, everything else, and lets the bigs get bigger, and everybody else is a plantation worker on Slavelandia. We said this was going to happen in your Trends Journal going back to March of 2020. Here it is. For many firms, return next year becomes likelier. Yeah, likelier. They're not going back to work until next year. Let's go back to 2020. Remember all the shit spewing out of the morons' mouths after they're hearing the crap coming out of the politicians and prostitutes' mouths? Oh, it'll come back. Oh, it'll come back. Oh, we're just gonna lower the curve, yeah. Flatten the curve. Remember that bullshit? Oh, yeah. And they're all gonna go back to work by Labor Day 2020. Now we're in Labor Day 2021, it's over, and people aren't going back to work. Maybe in 2022. Again, all the details will be in your Trends Journal. Rebound in business travel stalls as COVID-19 cases rise. Today's Wall Street Journal, go back to your Trends Journal, all right? All right? They're saying this crap like it's news. It's old news. It's last week's news next week. We said this was going to happen. Delta said U.S. corporate travel returned to about 40% of its pre-pandemic levels this summer. And the airline was predicting it would climb to 60% by September. We won't be at 60%, Delta's chief executive officer said. On to something else that gives you the bigger picture. Democrats' vision for aid from cradle to grave. Party is to pass $3.5 trillion bill. All right? Cradle to grave. Pushing out money as people aren't working for everywhere you go, people looking to hire people. They don't want to work because they're getting money for free, and that's going to be ending soon, but they're going to give them more. I'm mentioning this because right at the other end of the spectrum, again, today's Wall Street Journal, Xi eyes richest in bid to build a middle class. 4 decades ago, Deng Xiaoping declared that China would, quote, let some people get rich first in its race for growth. Mr. Xi says the Communist Party will pursue common prosperity, pressing businesses and entrepreneurs to help narrow the stubborn wealth gap. Officials are pledging to make schooling, housing, and health care less costly and more evenly available outside, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on to say, achieving common prosperity is not just an economic issue, it's a major political matter bearing on the party's foundation for rule, Mr. Xi told officials. You ready for this? The country's top 1% in China own nearly 31% of the country's wealth, according to Credit Suisse. You know what it is in the United States? The top 1% own 35%. China's becoming more like America was before these fucking pieces of shit. And that's proper language. So, hey, I got some little guy wrote, oh, gutter language. My mommy told my father, your mother taught you? Your mother? You didn't have a mother and a father. I had a mother and a father. And by the way, that's where everything is going now. Mothers. 41% of the children being born are to single mothers. It's different. It's appropriate language. Get it in your fucking head. When someone's fucking with your life and trying to destroy it, you stand up like a man and fight back. And you use the proper language. Don't fuck with me. And that's what they've done to us. They've taken the spirit out of our fight. It's a pussy-fied nation. I just got back from spending several days down on a Jersey shore going back and forth to Ron Paul's thing. What a disgrace this country looks like. You go down to Cape May and they got a sign, you know, you could take this boat to go whale watching. You don't need a boat to go whale watching. They're washed up into shore everywhere. Whales everywhere. I look at the people, Maron. How the hell did this happen? They got no fight. They could hardly walk. What a disgrace. I'm staying at a hotel like $700 a night. No class, no style, ba-boom. Who's getting the COVID? Who's dying from it? Only the facts. Only the facts. As CNBC reported, 78% of the people going to hospitals for COVID, overweight, obesity, type 2 diabetics. I could not believe what people look like. I was shocked. Shocked. Going down to Jersey Shore. And by the way, everywhere you look, looking for hiring people. Hiring people. Service is terrible. Can't find any people. Going back to China, 54% of Americans, the stock owned by 54% of stock in America is owned by 1%. They did away with the Robinson-Patman Act, Sherman Antitrust Act, Clayton Antitrust Act, and scumbag, slimeball, murderous little prick Bill Clinton did away with the Glass-Steagall Act. And that other shithead, Larry, whatever his hell's his name is, forgot his name, that fat boy, fat mouth. The Harvard guy. Yeah, the Harvard piece of shit. China. Achieving common prosperity is not an economic issue. It's a major political matter bearing on the party's foundation. And they're talking about the billions of dollars that they've made the big corporations put back into society. As Bezos blares out bullshit, gives fucking nothing back in real money, and Gates just a fucking drug dealer. One after another, Buffett, all of them. They give us back shit. And all they do is donate to their causes to keep them rich and fat. As we all get screwed. American people don't believe anything is real until they see it on TV, said Richard Nixon. That's how stupid they are. Nixon knew it. AP elevates bureau chief to top editor. I'm going to keep going over this and over this to show you the bullshit and why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. If you want the truth and news and information, what's going on, what's happening, what's next, and what it means, nothing comes close. The Associated Press named Julie Pace its Washington bureau chief as its new top editor, a job that gives her oversight of the news organization's 250 bureaus and 100 nations. This is the bullshit, arrogance crap spewing out of Pace's mouth. Ready? Being a fact-based news organization does not mean that everybody on every side of an issue gets equal hearing, gets equal voice. No. We're going to decide what's equal. Ready? In certain cases, the facts are just really clear, and we want to make sure that we are amplifying the facts and not muddying the facts. So, COVID vaccines are safe. Muddying the facts? Fact you. Who the fuck are you to say these are safe? When other people, this thing hasn't been tested. And all the people that you blackball, that you won't put in there, associated prostitutes, one little dickhead, and other word to use for you that I would be called, not so nice for saying it, but I could say it about the other scumbags, like the CNN Don Lemons, or little dickless Cooper, Anderson Cooper, or arrogant Andy Cuomo, and you're selling this shit. Associated prostitutes. You better subscribe to the Trends Journal and keep the truth alive, because this thing is going down big, hard, and heavy. And we're fighting for the truth. And we need your support to keep it going. And the people that came to Ron Paul's conference, they came from LA. They came from all over the country. The guy came from Singapore. You better support us, because it's going down. When you read crap, puke coming out of Pace's mouth. Puke out of Pace's mouth. Climate change is real. There is no widespread fraud in U.S. elections. These are not political positions. These are facts-based positions. Fuck you. That is proper language to use when you got a piece of shit with shit spewing out of the mouth and saying, I gotta swallow it. And that's what the American people swallow. Because when you look at the 42% obesity rate, that's all they do is swallow shit. From the food that they eat to the crap that the prostitutes shove down their mouth, there's no fight left in this country. If we don't unite that irate, tireless minority, keen on setting brushfires of freedom in the minds of men, we are finished. You ready? More bullshit from today's New York Times. The best birthday present when you're turning 12? Getting a COVID vaccine. Could you believe this? Heil Hitler. Zoe, too, a 7th grader in Brooklyn, likes to celebrate a birthday with Dolce de Leche Haagen-Dazs ice cream cake. This year, her 12th was no exception. But the day was also marked by a treat of another kind, her COVID vaccine. A treat of another kind. Hey, who wrote this? Emma Goldberg. 12 years old. Recovery rate is 99.997%. 99, according to the CDC. Out of the 530-something people that died of the ages of 1 to 17, out of 75 million over 18 months, and you're getting a kid a vaccine when only 530-something died, maybe it's up to 550 now, over 18 months, 1 to 17, 75 million people, and you're giving a kid a vaccination, and you're making it a big story so others get it too, and the kids are freaked the fuck out. That's just some of today's trends in the news. but I want to make this really clear. Toilet paper demand leaps again from the Wall Street Journal. That shows you what kind of shitheads the people have turned into. Toilet paper. Oh, Israel presses citizens on boosters. Take the third shot after they told us 2 shots would work, 96% efficacy rate. Now it's down to 39%, and keep shooting your kids with shitheads, because that's what it's gone down to. This is going down really bad, really hard, and really fast. I just feel lost. Young men abandon college. Today's Wall Street Journal. Guys aren't going to school anymore. They can't afford it. It's not paying off. This country's going down. If you want to do what you can to reverse it, support us. Yes, we all went to Ron Paul's on our own. This wasn't a paid-for event to go make money on. We did it for the passion of what we believe. People flew from all around the world to come there. We're fighting for freedom. United we stand, divided we fall. We must unite. So donate to OccupyPeace.com, OccupyPeace.com, and please, 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 subscribe to the Trends Journal. Your new edition will be out next week. History Before It Happens. The only place in the world you'll find it. Thank you for tuning in. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news. COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.